Alrighty then. Welcome everyone to another wonderful episode of Our Parents' Basement. Thank you for joining us once again. I am so excited to be here, and it feels like it's been a long time since we've all been together. A couple weeks, maybe.
Since
a week, 2 weeks,
two weeks, 3 weeks.
Is live. It's been a while. Sorry.
That was
half a
beautiful.
month.
So, yeah, it's been a long time. So glad to be back. Glad to discuss all things geek with these two lovely guys. I am Philip, and with me this evening we have Charles. And Charles, how's it going this evening?
Going all right.
Good?
All right. How you guys doing?
We are doing well. We missed your ass last weekend.
Just the monetary fundingness is kind of lacking sometimes.
Oh, we hear that. We hear that. Well, you were there in some semblance of spirit, and we'll talk about that here soon. But before that, we also have Jason, but most people call him Turf. Turf, how's it going this evening?
Mike, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to join you gentlemen one more time. I'm excited to share a Thursday evening with hopefully new people watching, because, you know, we did talk to a lot of people, had a lot of new subscribers and a lot of new people that said, yeah, I'll check out Our Parents' Basement. So we got to have a good show, guys. We got to bring our A game tonight for all those new folks that said they were going to listen.
Our A game is most people's D game.
No, our A game is most people's A plus, but still, like, compared to the really big podcast, it's probably a D.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not here to grade. We are here to have a good time, and that's what we're gonna do, because we have a fair amount of stuff to discuss. And let's just dive right in. Well, Turf, can you believe it? Another Retropalooza has come and gone. It's weird that, like, it's build up, and then it's over. It's 2 days just is not enough, I think, for this sort of thing. But Turf, what exactly is Retropalooza for those?
Retropalooza is a video game convention, or not just a video game convention. It's a celebration of all things 80s, 90s, 2000s, and nerdy and geeky and cool and pop culture and whatever else, man. It's nostalgia wrapped up in a nice little bow.
Yes.
It's a convention that just celebrates all those things that we know and love as being children of the 90s.
Definitely. It is held in Arlington, Texas.
We take over the Arlington Convention Center and the Sheraton Hotel for 2 days, and we just let our nerd flag fly. I mean, it's really cool to spend a weekend wrapped around.
Oh, yes.
It's surrounded by people, like-minded people. The same kind of, like, we don't have to go to work and people are like, you know, oh, you know, cool, you do video games. That's the nerdy guy over there. Now, these are our people. Like, these are our this is our tribe, and we go hang out with everybody and get to see friends that we only get to see one time a year. We get to hang out with people we don't get to hang out with that often, make new friends, hang out with new people, and it's such a good time.
It really is. I mean, at its core, I would say Retropalooza is a place where people take all their video games and try to sell them or trade them, but there's so much more to it than that. There are other vendors, obviously. There are folks selling original artwork or displaying new video game demos, or some
promoting their podcast.
Promoting people from... I was going to get to that. I was going to say some, like, contests, like cosplay or Smash Brothers contests, things like that. And of course, there were folks like us promoting the podcast. It was just one awesome whirlwind, draining but super fun weekend. And the fun began on Friday afternoon, I would say.
It was about 2 o'clock when we all finally got together, 2 or 3 o'clock, something like that.
Yep,
we got to the hotel. Probably my brother and I got there about a half an hour before Philip. When he flew in, and we met up at the hotel and said, "Hey, let's go get some grub." And then of course, when you're in a new town, you have to go check out the local fair. And in this case, we did not. We a glorious chain of Chipotle. The delicious burrito gut bomb that is Chipotle. And if you get a chance, if you have the means, I would be sure to check out the chorizo. Chorizo is a good thing.
Well, Chipotle's not the best place, because Taco Bell got voted best Mexican restaurant in America.
lies. Did it really?
Yes, it did.
That's like saying, all right,
my
Taco
goodness.
Bell gets the best taco, like McDonald's has the best hamburger. Now, if you like Taco Bell, that's cool, but you're going for Taco Bell. You're not going for tacos.
Yeah. You're going
If
for
you go
Taco
to McDonald's,
Bell.
you're going for McDonald's. You're not going for a burger.
Right. Exactly.
But
Hey, I have no
Chipotle is
shame
not
in
that
Chipotle.
bad.
No, not at all. We were traveling all day. My flight was actually delayed by like a half hour or so. So I was hungry and we wanted something quick, but nothing too, greasy. So
Yeah, you don't want anything too heavy. And
yeah,
chains like that, you know what you're getting.
Yep.
If you try out the local fare, it could always be a dud. It can
Right.
always be kind of, but if you have a chain like Chipotle, it's not going to let you down.
nope, it didn't let us down at all. So we ate, went back to the hotel just to collect ourselves real quick. And then it was about time to call a car and head on over to Six Flags. Is it Six Flags over Dallas or Six Flags over Texas? I can never
Six
remember.
Flags over Texas.
Thank you. Six Flags over Texas. Like the efficient people that we are, we wanted to get there early, when it was opening, just so we didn't have to wait in lines. We could ride what we wanted to. We kind of had a roadmap planned. So you can imagine our disappointment when we got there and nothing was running. We were there in line with the rest of them and no coasters were up and running. No thrill rides were up and running. The Ferris wheel was up and running, but that's lame. So,
It's romantic.
hell, Six Flags.
Yeah, no joke. I was really disappointed in that. We got in there, and of course, us being our parents' basement, people said, "Aren't you? Oh my gosh, y'all come on to the front of the line." So we went through the front of the line with all the schmucks, all the commoners, all the Joe Blows were standing in line. We went around to the front of the line, and we got in and we walk around, and there's like nobody in there. And when I say nobody in there, there's not even workers in there. So we're cruising around and nothing is running. We walk around for 30 minutes or an hour before we get on our first ride because
basically
it's the price of being celebrity sometimes.
Well,
you get in. When you get in, there's not a crowd there, but when there's no crowds, there's no service. So you have to just make do. So this time we put Philip on a roller coaster and I ran it. Everything was going good until the loop-de-loop, and I forgot to fasten his shoulder strap. And this isn't a complete lie. Back up to the part about like him getting on the roller coaster. Anything before that was true, but the running the rides was not true. It was just
we did get on a roller coaster eventually, and it was a fun one.
We did. We rode some good ones. We rode Mr. Freeze first.
Mr. Freeze. That was the first one we rode.
Chance, and if you have the means, I do suggest you ride Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast or Mr. Freeze something blast. It's a really cool roller coaster, and it's one of the few at Six Flags that has really good theming. I'm a bit of a theme park snob, I guess. I'm an aficionado a little bit, maybe. But like I like when I go to Disney World or Universal or in this case Six Flags, and you're starting to get on the ride, and there's all the like immerses you in that world. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Mr. Freeze was one of the few at Six Flags that really does that. Like it's like you're going through the ice cream factory where Mr. Freeze calls a base, and then you get on the thing and it launches you backwards. It counts down, and then you're sitting in this thing. You're sitting in the car, got your harness on. You're just looking straight ahead, like there's no track. Where are we gonna go? And then they count down, and you start flying backwards.
Bye.
Bye.
And they hit the button.
Yeah, and then you take off flying backwards. So you do the entire roller coaster backwards.
You go backwards and forwards. It's really interesting. Like you shoot at supersonic speed backwards, go up a hill, wait for like half a second, and back down you go. And then I think I did it again, but there's a lot of backwards and forwards.
Well, it does the Mr. Freeze one. It doesn't have a loop. Like most roller coasters are a loop. Like you pull back into the station. Mr. Freeze doesn't. It's only got one track and it's one way. So you go backwards all the way to the end, and then you stop and you come frontwards all the way back to home base. So you get right back off. Yeah, it's pretty short, but it's a good ride. It's fun.
So worth the wait. And that was our first ride.
It's less than 45 seconds probably.
Yeah, afterwards our legs were like, a little wobbly.
You got the sea legs.
Yeah, Because that's like if you're gonna start with a roller coaster, I mean, might as well go hard or go home.
Go
So
big or go home.
yeah. So that's what we did with
See,
that
then
one.
we were over in the Gotham City type area, the Batman area. Went over to get on the Batman, and we went all the way through the line, and then we got to get on, and they're like, sorry, Batman's closed. You can stay in line if you want to, but if not, there's the exit. So we walked straight across the ride, didn't stop at the seats, and just went to the exit. So
I think the next ride we actually went on is one where I think it was the Texas Titan or
Texas Giant.
Texas Giant. So I was sitting behind Turf and his brother in this ride, and as soon as we launched up the first hill, I heard nothing but them laughing the entire time. I was having a grand old time going on this roller coaster, but eventually the whole thing stops, go to the hills. It was fun. And I hear them laughing. And I'm like, are you guys okay? And they just gave me a thumbs up. So I couldn't help but wonder, what is going on up there? What is so funny? So I'm going to have Turf take it away real quick.
All right. We were, oh man, I want to thank, there's a young lady in the world. I don't know her name. I don't know her face, but I want to thank her for one of the funnest times I've ever had on a roller coaster. Now stand by and I'll tell you why. All right, so we're going up the first hill. We get in the roller coaster and everything's cool. Everybody's excited to get on, including this young lady. She gets on with what I assume would be her husband because they had matching T-shirts that said "I'm hers" and "I'm his" with Mickey Mouse hands. It was super cute. Yeah, totally adorable and a little obnoxious. But they were excited to get on. They jump in. Everything's cool. We're going up the first hill, and she starts going, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" And I don't know if she's approaching climax, if you will, or she's about to pass out. Anyways, so we're going up the hill, and we're looking around because this is a pretty tall thing. It's like 260 something feet drop.
Yeah, this is a big coaster.
So we get up the top of the Texas Giant, and we go across. We hit the apex, and we start down on this massive roller coaster. And this young lady apparently developed a medical condition halfway down. And when I say I don't mean to take that lightly. I probably shouldn't say that, but she was paralyzed. Like I've heard of people being paralyzed with fear. She was actually looked like she had been tased the whole way down. And it would be a disservice for me to try to make the face that she was. It was bad enough that she turned sideways and was looking off into the distance, and her mouth was open and contorted in a way that I can't really describe other than Google pictures of people being tased, because that's the only thing that compared to it. She was petrified. She developed a palsy because of fear. And I start laughing. Then my brother, I slapping him going, dude, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? And of course he's seeing it too. And this young lady is terrified beyond anything that I've ever seen. A good way to compare it. Of course, I got to watching people on roller coasters after this. I started like, well, if she did that, I'm sure there's more hilarity out there on YouTube. So I start Googling it, and you need to watch Jimmy Fallon and Kevin Hart riding the Hollywood Rip Ride, or maybe it's the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. It's at Universal Studios. Rip Ride Rocket. Anyways, Kevin Hart, Jimmy Fallon, you'll figure it out. And you can see a dude, Kevin Hart is petrified. He is terrified. He is whatever else, chicken fried. He is anything that rhymes with ride on this ride. So it was hilarious that this young lady just lost her composure, but she was okay. She was fine. She got off and she was walking on her own, so she didn't actually have any kind of affliction while she was on that. But it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I want to thank her. I should have thanked her that day and thanked him for taking her on that ride, and me laughing so hard. My brother and I were laughing so hard it hurt. Like, Philip said a while ago, like, are y'all okay? Because we were just cackling, and I'm sure it sounded like we were in pain, but we weren't. We just tears rolling, stomachs hurting, face is stuck in a Joker-like smile because this young lady lost her composure.
So it's hard to top that coaster, but we somehow managed to find other fun things to ride after that. I'm sad that I missed it, by the way. I was kind of living vicariously through it. And I was laughing, too, when they told me about it.
Yeah, because we were probably making the face.
I mean, there are those stories that are all about, well, you had to be there. I wasn't really there, per se, but I kind of got the idea. And when Jason and Zach made their made those faces. That helped set the scene a little bit too. But good times, good times. That was our second coaster. After that, I'm kind of not sure what we went on after that.
It was just some other coasters. I can't do spinny stuff. Like if it spins in a circle, it'll make me vomit.
Yep.
So we stuck to the roller coasters, the go fasty things. We did eventually get to ride the Batman, which is an excellent roller coaster. We got to ride the Justice League Fight for Metropolis.
Oh, that was fun.
A 3D. It's like you're riding through a video game. You're trying to help Batman and Cyborg and Superman and trying to stop Lex Luger, the wrestler. No, Lex Luthor and Joker taking over Gotham City. So it was like you're in a cartoon and you're a video game cartoon thing and you're shooting it up, and it's great.
Yeah, it's a fun one. I think that was actually the last ride we went on. I mean, there was other little stuff in between, but those were the highlights. And Friday was a pretty busy day. It was very busy because before we went to Six Flags, we dropped off all of our stuff in the convention center just to
we set up our booth and
get that ready.
Got that ready to go.
And then we just after Six Flags, I think we called it a night.
Yeah, we did. We called it a pretty early night. We were a little tuckered out and getting ready for the next day. So
yep, the next day came, and that's always that's a time of year I look forward to a lot.
The convention center. The convention started at 9, so we got up and had
like 6, I think, weren't we?
Yeah, well, yeah, because we went to breakfast at 7 and got back to the convention center by 8.
Yep.
Looked around, bought some stuff before the doors opened, maybe.
Yep. Guilty.
Well, you got to have those vendor-to-vendor deals.
Yeah,
We weren't really vendors. We weren't selling anything, but you know what? We were there when the vendors were, so we got to look around before the other
commoners.
Folks. Well, I don't want to say commoners. The public. we were part of the convention, so that helps.
And
it did help that Friday night we ran into our buddies. We got to see people that we don't get to see very often. We got to see Eric and Mo from the Midwest Retro Gamers.
Yeah.
Ryder and Laura, his wife. We got to see them. That was Friday night.
Obviously,
got to see Jay. Say what's up to him, and
was there anything else Friday?
Who else we saw that night?
I can't remember who else we saw Friday, but we covered the important ones, and if we missed you, sorry guys. A lot went on that day, but so we got our booth set up. We met our neighbors. There's some cool folks on the left selling original print art. Really talented artist. I cannot remember his name. He did not have a business card. Turf.
I don't remember his name either. I could picture his face.
Thomas Miller or something like that. I wish I could remember, but he was really good at his craft. And on the right side was a lovely couple selling. Is that called Pearl art?
Perler art.
Perler art. Yeah. So that was fun. We had good neighbors. That really helps.
It really does, and you have somebody to talk to. I mean, of course, we like to talk to each other, but we got to talk to other folks. See if I can find this guy's name. He started following us on Twitter, and
he did. Okay, yeah. Hopefully,
I'm trying to find his name's M.A. Grant _141 on Twitter. I don't know what his business name is. I can't remember his actual name.
But like at 9 o'clock on Saturday, he sent me a little Facebook message like, "Do you want to see these Game Gear games?"
Yes.
I'm like, I got all those 3 already.
Yeah, so we got to talk about our table then real quick. Those Game Gear games are actually part of Turf's, we'll call it a setup. Basically, we wanted to get more subscribers for our Parents' Basement. So we had our banner facing the front. What we also did was take a bunch of knickknacks and old games and little trinkets and things that we just didn't need anymore. So if someone subscribed, they could take something from the table. Simple as that. So I once again had the business cards and I was slapping them like you do in Vegas. And instead of saying, hey, subscribe to our podcast, we're on da-da-da-da-da, I said, hey, subscribe to our podcast and you get something for free. And, when gamers hear free, they go swoop and, do an about face, and they came to our table. And that was kind of our business model for the day.
Our business model was bribe people.
Yeah, we were bribing them. We were bribing them. Plus, if they subscribed, we took a picture with them, which was fun for me. And
I saw those pictures.
Yeah, a lot of yeah, that's basically how we kind of handled when we were at our artist's booth on Saturday, and I had a lot of fun doing that because usually when they're subscribing, you can actually start to talk to them about what they're in for. Other than we still handing out business cards. Don't get me wrong, but this was a lot of fun this time doing it.
It was. We had met like I said, a lot of really cool people, and there's a lot of really cool people that are in this community. So it was cool to flag people down, say what's up. Hey, what are you into? You need to check us out. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't, but give us a shot. And I think a lot of people did, and a lot of people will, and hopefully they enjoy doing this. And at the same time, we got to meet a lot of folks that are into the same kind of stuff as us, and then we got to hear maybe not their story, but about what they're into. I had a long conversation with somebody about NES games, and a long conversation with somebody about oh Lord, well, never mind, Dreamcast collecting, just a bunch of different, just random stuff and not even just games. We were talking to people about movies, and I talked to a guy a long time about the Marvel universe, and talked to somebody about Game of Thrones, just stuff that they were into, and like the different T-shirts people were wearing spark conversation. You kind of tell what.
Yeah.
So it was fun. We had a good time.
Definitely. Our neighbors to the right, Christian and Teresa. Shout out to those guys. Christian is a super cool guy. He's also a bodybuilder.
No, competitive power lifter.
That's it, competitive power lifter. And when he told me that I looked 180, that made my day. Like, that was highlight of the day. So thank you for that, Christian. I appreciate that. But no, he was super cool. We had a long conversation with them. I had a conversation with some random dude about the Lufia series. Like, only at Retropalooza can you do such a thing. So that was pretty amazing. The good thing about the artist booth, though, is that you don't have to really monitor that sort of booth. What you can do is kind of have a home base for your stuff. If there's something going on, you can leave. If you want to go back to your hotel room to use a nice, clean restroom instead of the public restroom, you can do that. If you want to go get a drink, you can do that. If there's new people coming with new stuff, I'm gonna go see them. You can do that. That is the beauty of an artist booth. I really
enjoy that. I enjoy the artist booth just because I want to enjoy the convention.
Yeah, definitely.
I like to be able to enjoy the convention and go do stuff and not have to worry about hustling the whole time, not worrying about having to sell stuff the whole time. But at the same time, having a presence there so we can get the word out for what we're trying to do,
Yeah. Our banner was big and beautiful, so people saw it. And what's cool with our booth this time, you could see it as soon as you walked in. People tend to walk straight from the door. They don't veer to the left or right. So as soon as they walked in, you can basically see our banner. So thank you to Jay for strategically putting us there.
Yeah, he put us in a good spot this year. So we got to see a lot of folks, and that was awesome.
Yep. What else do we do on Saturday? So obviously we promoted the podcast, and obviously we saw our friends. One cool thing that I was excited about was a cosplay contest. That I have to give credit where credit is due. Everyone who participated in that, I mean, good job. Cosplay is a lot of work, so keep it up. I mean, it just takes a lot of time and effort and money to look like your favorite video game character, and yeah, I thought everyone did a great job with that.
There was a lot of really, really cool cosplay there. The what was it? The fangirls of Dallas. They were the ones that were the judges.
Mm-hmm.
Taffeta Darling and Stina Glitters and some, I can't remember the other people. And there was a dude up there that was from the Lost Boys, which was pretty awesome.
Yep.
He wasn't actually there, but that's what his cosplay was. That's an art that I'm not necessarily I wouldn't do it, but when I see people do it, it's cool.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna put forth that effort, but I enjoy what they do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Congratulations to the guy who dressed as Zero from the Mega Man X series. I mean, that made me very happy. But yeah, that was awesome. Turf, I'm gonna ask you a question here. We got a lot of business cards and flyers from other folks when we had them subscribe. So before I forget,
man.
we should do some quick shout outs.
All right, quick shout outs. Let's see. The SoCal Retro Gaming Expo. Be sure to check that out if you're in the Southern California area. It's February 23rd and 24th. That's SoCalRetroGamingExpo.com, the Pasadena Convention Center. So that's I probably won't hit that up because that's a long ways from my house.
Yeah,
but it's cool. Some cool guys that we got to talk to, and I think we follow them on Twitter now. Is the Controllers and Keyboards podcast.
Yes,
I went ahead and subscribed to them. Those guys, they stream every night.
Oh wow, busy.
They're dedicated to the game, man. Let me tell you, guys, they stream every night, and then they have a podcast. I don't know. They didn't really say what frequency they had the podcast, but they are streaming every night. I'll see. Quality Controller. Shit. That was another podcast that we came across, and you must have talked to these people because I don't remember this.
It's been a lot. The thing about these, quick aside, the thing is these weekends you meet so many people, it's hard to keep track of them all. So, but
check them out
check them out
at Quality Controller on Facebook or on YouTube, at Q_controller on Facebook, at Q_controller on Twitter. So check those guys out. I'm sure they're awesome, but I didn't talk to them.
They're awesome. Yeah.
Here's one this was one of the weirder things that was there, that we actually got a lot of information from this guy, from one of the creators, or maybe somebody that was there with him, maybe not a creator. It was called Rizzo Island. It's a new Dreamcast game and PC game built on the Unreal Engine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they've gone back and used an old engine to make a new Dreamcast game and a new PC game. So check those guys out. It's called Rizzo Island, like Rizzo, like the rat from Muppets.
Yep.
Let's see.
Or the girl from Greece.
Or Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got nothing for those.
You're good.
Like I know what Greece is, but
yeah.
Anyways, the Pixelized Princess, Cameron Folder. Is it Instagram?
She was sitting across from us. She was selling some art.
Okay. Thanks for buying from my mom, says the dog on the back. So the Pixelized Princess. There you go.
I think that was Sarah sitting across from us. Either way, yeah.
All right. Heartstring Studios. They're making indie RPGs. Looks like 16-bit style RPGs.
Yes. Now, these are folks I talked to for a long time. They were on the other end, and they sell imports. And I had a great conversation with them about how they go to Japan every year. They talked about where they stay, the people they've met, how they afford the trip, and it's just got me more pumped to actually go to Japan someday. So definitely big shout out to those. I know
who you're talking about. I shared not shared a booth, but he was my neighbor one year.
Okay.
And I can't remember the guy's name. Ben? He had all imports, right?
His name was Ben, and his wife was, crap, I can't remember his wife's name. Heather, I think.
Anyways, they went to Japan and came back with suitcases and then still shipped a box home.
Yep.
And
that's those guys.
He's a cool guy. He's there every year. Let's see. Oh, there he is.
Is he based out of Ohio?
Say what?
Is he based out of Ohio or someplace like that?
I'm gonna say he's in Texas because he's there at Retropalooza every year.
There's one guy about some imports from a couple years ago. The one time I was there, and I guess he was from somewhere in Ohio, and he had a lot of imports.
Not sure.
Yeah, check these guys out. There's witchingrpg.com, facebook.com/witchingrpg, WITCHIN. That doesn't look right. Witch Indie RPG. I can't read.
That's all right.
So Witch, WITCHINDIE RPG. So check that out. And then it was Bill Ambroso is the guy's name.
Bill, I knew it was hard to be.
Ben, okay. It's Ben.
It is Ben?
Yeah, Ambroso is his last name.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, Heartstrings Dev, Heartstrings Studio. So check those guys out. Ben is a good dude, and I've talked to him several years, so I like that guy. Leslie's Plushies. They've got Instagram and all these other things. Facebook, Twitter, something that's an E. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. Check them out.
Social media.
Forever Games, the Ohio Video Games on eBay. Yeah, some guys from Ohio that sell video games. Forever Video Games.
Are they the? Let me see that card real quick. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
With the rounded corners?
Yeah, from what part of Ohio is this?
That would be Pataskala.
Yep. Okay. Those are the guys I bought some stuff from. We'll do some reveals later. But yeah, shout out to those guys. Good to see.
Yeah, big shout out.
Good to see those guys again.
Let's see. Retrocircuits.com. Mark, TJ, and Katie. This is the dude that rehab stuff. Like, he had a bunch of stuff that was broken but not broken any longer. He fixes video games and mods them. Like, he takes broken consoles and mods them. He had a really cool mod, like a HDMI mod for a NES top loader that is, for lack of a better term, non-invasive.
Okay.
I talked to this guy for a while about that, because when you do an HDMI mod on a NES or on a top loaded NES, the 101, you have to cut holes in it. You damage it. You take away the authenticity of it. You know, when you mod something, you break it for all practical purposes. Well, he had a non-invasive mod for a top loader that can completely be undone. It didn't require any soldering. It didn't require, it even had you took the screws out and added a spacer, and all the other stuff that you needed you made room for it. And then it gave the holes in the spacer, the plastic spacer that was about half an inch tall, had the HDMI cord and everything coming out of the back of it. So you didn't have to modify the back of it.
That went right over my head, but sounds cool.
Okay. You can make Nintendo look pretty.
There.
And you don't have to turn anything up to do it.
Yeah. You got
I talked to that dude for a long time about that, because I like the idea of modding my system, but I don't want to. I'm enough of a. I'm not a historian, but I'm a. I don't know.
You want to store onto some authenticity.
I want things to be authentic. I don't want to modify them and damage them. I want them to be exactly like they were original. Like, this mod even has a place where you take out the old screws. It had places to store the old screws inside on the plastic. I was like, this is incredible, man. This is it's amazing.
That's a lot of engineering right there.
It really was. It's an injection molded plastic, so it wasn't a big deal once you had it made. But
yeah, but
then the HDMI stuff was really cool. I really enjoyed that. So there's our shout outs for all those folks.
Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for listening. And yeah, a lot of people, so many people we met, and
I'm gonna say I almost hate to do that, because there were so many people I talked to.
Yep.
That, like, yeah, okay, I'll try to remember that. And there was a lot of cool people that I just overwhelmed. There were so many. That's
a problem with Retropalooza. I mean, it's basically, for most folks, it's an entire day and maybe a little bit of, maybe trickles into a day and a half, and that's a lot. That's not much time to say hi to everyone and make as many new friends and that sort of thing. But we did what we could. But most importantly, or maybe not most importantly, but just as important, was the shopping that Turf and I did. And we can't have our parents' basement without talking about some video games. So Turf, what did you end up with?
Doing start like coolest and go downhill, or do we want to build?
Let's go chronological.
Chronological. All right,
yeah.
Chronological. I can do chronological.
Yeah.
The very first thing I bought, right when you walked in, it was the Friday night. We were looking around through stuff before the general public got in, and my buddy Kingsley was selling some stuff. I got a slamming deal on Super Turkin. It's a PAL NES game. This is a European NES game. This is the PAL A version for the UK. Nice. So I got this. It doesn't compare to anything in the US. This Super Turkin just never came out here on the NES. So there we go. That was my first one I got.
Good job, Turf. You can tell it's the start to a good weekend when you already land with something so amazing.
Yeah, something. Just,
it's a sign.
I didn't see many PAL games there this time. That was what I was on the lookout for, and I saw a Lion King and an Aladdin and that.
Yeah.
and I already had Lion King and Aladdin. So, all right, what do you got, man? What did you pick up?
Oh, I thought you were still going. Oh, my bad.
I can go for days, man.
All right, well, I'll go then. The first thing I got was, well, actually, scratch it. The first thing I got was actually from Turf. It was, I'm going to try not to break it.
Oh.
This amazing Mega Man.
Out of the box.
Of course I did. This is one on my desk right now. It's kind of hard to stand up, so I'm trying to be super careful with it. But Turf, thank you for that. That made my day. I was like, you know what? If I don't walk away with anything, I am super excited about this.
If anybody, y'all can look out. I mean, I know this is a video podcast and audio podcast, but if you're just listening to audio only, I gave him a D Arts Mega Man X figure. It's a super cool Mega Man X figure that is very posable, and D Arts does very quality work. It's very detailed and it's just cool looking.
He knows I'm a huge Mega Man X fan, so this is perfect. I'm going to add it to my little Mega Man X, I don't know, shrine I have going on. So this is perfect. Thank you very much, Turf.
You're very welcome.
We gotta find some Mega Man X candles and incense for the shrine.
I'll take it. But the first game I actually got was this. This is something I'll talk about probably in another Hear Me Out, but it's Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo Tales. Super cute Final Fantasy game that's basically composed of mini games. I'm liking it so far. Definitely a surprise buy, and I bought it sealed for not too much. So, yeah, good. It's. Right. I could tell that I was off to a good start. So,
and yeah, I was off and running. I sold a
ColecoVision, right?
ColecoVision down there. I had a nice box ColecoVision that nobody was interested in, so I ended up having to sell it to a vendor for less than I really wanted to. But it gave me money to buy games, so I took that and I bought Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That was the next thing I bought for Dreamcast. I've been wanting this for a long time. I've got the first one, so there we go. We got Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Nice. Now, remember those friends of ours, Ben and his wife, the guys who came from Japan and had all those. Well, I traded something into them for this. This is the Japanese version of Tales of Destiny, which was my first Tales game way back in the day. I won't play it, but it has some cool artwork. It has some cool collectibles in it. So thanks for the trade, guys. This is a nice little display piece in my game room. So yeah, that was the next thing I got.
Like a little display piece.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then I took some more of that money that I sold that for, and I went and bought to another vendor that happened to have this. And I got a pretty good deal on this, I think. Power Stone 2. Or 2? Power Stone 1, sorry. Power Stone 2. I didn't even see a Power Stone 2 this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
I was on the lookout for it because I was going to buy it. But I think the dude had it for 60, and I think I ended up giving him like 40 or 45 for it.
That's about what it should be anyway.
Right. So, it wasn't a bad deal. I don't feel bad about that. And at the same time, I got I know what I did. I got these two. I got Power Stone and the record of Lodos War.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about that. I want to say I gave 75 for the pair, which is not a slamming good deal, but I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, Lotus Wars. I really hope you enjoy it. I know you like those hack and slash.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it. I'm excited to give it a go. I just gotta. It's probably not gonna be during
find some time.
October. October's kind of full for me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Red Dead Redemption.
So I'll I'm gonna give it a go as soon as I get some more time out here in the old Bob.
Nice. The third thing I got was a old PlayStation game I remember playing once at my friend's house. It's probably not very good, but I have a weakness for ancient Japan and samurai, so I sold the samurai for the PlayStation 1. My expectations are real low, but you know what? I might be surprised. You never know.
Hey, there's diamonds in the rough, man.
Absolutely.
You know, somebody thought that was a good game when it was released, so somebody did.
Somebody, me.
People who released the game thought it was good.
Yeah, people who released the game. Konami thought it was good.
Somebody thought it was a real good game. They were really proud of that too. All right, something else I picked up that I've been trying to get all the Battletoad games, not like actively, but I won all of them. This is one that I didn't have, was Battletoads Ragnarok World for the Game Boy. So I went and grabbed that. I think it said $14.99 on the back, and I know I offered them $5 for it. I picked it up and I looked at it and I thought it said $9.99 on the back. I'm like, hey, y'all got $10 on this. Would you take 5? I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And sorry, I was not trying to be shady. The people I got this from, that was an accidental shade. So, but yeah, I got 5. That was a pretty good deal on that.
But Charles say, know your product or something.
But you should know the price of the item you're selling. You should know
the price.
That's true. That's very true. But I don't feel bad because money's money. But I wouldn't be intentionally.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to be devious or anything.
I wouldn't try to be devious. I wouldn't like this corner is bent, dude. Could you take 10% off? No, I wouldn't do any of that noise.
This sticker looks pixelated. Is it real?
The last 2 things I kind of got together. I brought some stuff to trade in to those guys, lovely guys in Ohio. So after all the trades and after all was said and done, the last 2 things I bought for the evening were Busta Groove and Busta Groove 2 for the PlayStation. These are 2 rhythm games I wanted for a long time, and Retropalooza provided. So I didn't buy as much as I usually do, but I'm happy with what I got.
Now, did your dance pad work for those?
No, this is a unique rhythm game in that you have to use a controller and match button presses. But
the exact same thing.
You what?
I asked you the exact same thing.
You did, that's right. Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
They sure do. So right. I'm very pleased with what I got. But Terry, if you're still going, what else do you got?
Man, I've got some doozies. All right, this is a really good one. It's something that I've been wanting for a while. It's Def Jam Fight for New York for the GameCube. Our buddy OK Chief Rich help me out on this. Man, you can play it's a kind of like those THQ wrestling games for the Nintendo 64, except for it's for the GameCube, and it has rappers like Warren G and Snoop Dogg and
Warren G,
Fat Joe, Flava Flav, Memphis Bleak, Flava, Busta Rhymes is in here. I mean, it's
Warren G and Fat Joe. Wow.
Yeah. It's got all these crazy early 2000 rappers in it. It's Exhibit X to the Z Exhibit. So that's something I've been really wanting. I got that, and I got something else from Chief at the same time. This on the way down, I was kind of thinking, I was like, man, there's not anything I really want to buy, and I want to go to this thing and I want to buy. So I was like, you know what I could get into? I think I want all the Soul Calibur games. So I got to looking. I'm like, they're not expensive at all. But they're good games. They're fun. I really enjoy the first one. I have it for Dreamcast, and it gets as much rotation in my Dreamcast as anything else. It's up there with Cannon Spike and Crazy Taxi. Yeah. And Bass Fishing. Sega Bass Fishing. Don't overlook it. It's a blast. But anyways, I got from the same deal from Chief. I got Soul Calibur 3 for the PS2. I will probably never play this because I don't know where my PlayStation 2 is. And I'm probably not going to bother to hook it up, just to be perfectly honest. But I have it. Yeah. And in that same vein, if you remember, back in the day when Soul Calibur 2 came out, they had a PlayStation 2 version with it had Heihachi. Yep. From Tekken in it. And it had Spawn, the comic book character. For the Xbox version had Spawn in it. And the Soul Calibur 2 for GameCube had Link in it. So, I got all those.
Sweet. Good job.
So more Soul Calibur goodness. Where did I put those other ones? Okay, there they are. All right, then I bought this game. So many games. This game I accidentally bought twice. I bought it and then I went back out and I found it and I'd forgotten that I bought it. So I bought it twice. I got another extra, but it's Aztec Adventure. This one's really slick. It's got the poster and the instruction manual with it. The other one just has the instruction manual and it has a little booger on the label.
Ew.
Well, not a booger. It has a.
Oh, okay. I thought someone No,
it had a boogered spot. It had a bad spot on the label. It didn't have like an actual booger. Sorry, didn't mean to gross you out. And then, talk for a minute, Philip.
Okay, I'm gonna talk for a minute. Let me start by saying, Charles, we really wished you were there. It just wasn't the same without you.
I'll just see if I can get there next year. Is that a
Yeah,
miracle?
definitely. What was that?
I
Say
saw
what?
something. I saw something flash on the screen there.
Oh, you'll see. Here it
All
comes.
right, and then
Turf's back.
the weirdest thing that I got there, and I'm into weird. I like goofy, crazy stuff, and this is it. This is something I've been looking for nearly 20 years since I've been collecting NES stuff. This is one of the weirder controllers for the NES, and it's awesome and it's cool, and it is called the Miracle Piano.
You're right, Charles.
I thought that's what it was. I saw that flash for a second. Ugh, that's a miracle piano. I know what that thing is.
I bought a Miracle Piano with the hookups and everything for $30.
Sweet.
It's huge, it's obnoxious, and I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I've been looking for it for a long time, and now I have it, and I love it, and it is glorious. And there you go. I own a Miracle Piano now.
Nicely done. Anything else you picked up?
Oh, that's it. Just a case of it burns with a P. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, there's a pill for that.
No, it doesn't. I'm joking.
Well, after all that, after the cosplay contest, and after some more time spent meeting new folks, eventually the con doors closed at 5?
6.
6? Okay. And a little, maybe like an hour or so afterwards, we did a Retropalooza tradition and went to the amazing Twisted Root for dinner. And oh my God, I kind of look forward to that actually more than the actual con.
That's a good burger.
Yeah.
Twisted Root's a burger joint. It's like I wouldn't say like a gourmet burger joint, but it's a burger joint that's not just a greasy spoon.
Yeah.
It's where you go get that $15 burger. I mean, it's
so worth it.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. And what was fun about this time was last year was just you, me, and Zach, which is great. This year, Eric and Mo joined us. Ryder and his wifey joined us. Obviously, the three of us were there. We had a big group. We kind of, overtook a table, and it was just a blast. Just so much fun.
Just laughing and had a few beers and delicious burger. I got I think like the Western burger that had like fried onions and something, pepper jack cheese. Yep. I usually go with the Kevin Bacon just because you can't go to a burger joint and not get something on the menu titled Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
But this time I didn't, so I ventured out.
Yeah. So shout out to Twisted Root. I mean, it's worth the hype, So
absolutely. And see, after a few beers and that, we went over that. Then the official after party of Retropalooza was at Free Play. Was that the name?
Yeah, I believe so. It was a barcade.
At the Free Play barcade. You paid $5 to get in. You play all the games you want and have you a few beers. It was fun, man. It was really cool. It was a cool place to hang out. It was kind of loud.
That's the only complaint was really loud in there.
And it got a little crowded when the crowd from Retropalooza showed up.
Definitely.
It got crowded. So, but it was fun, man. I played a few games, played some pinball, and just me and Eric played Smash TV. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
We played Smash TV for a while, and it was so much fun.
Jason and I and some other guys, we beat the X-Men Konami game.
Yeah, we did.
That was great. There was that new Ghostbusters pinball was there. A new Deadpool pinball was there. I really wanted to try that, but I didn't get a chance to. You know what? Honestly, what it did was made me even more excited for 2019's Louisville Arcade Expo. So something else to look forward to.
It really did. It was a small taste of that.
Yeah.
And we didn't stay too terribly long because it was getting really crowded. And let's be honest, I had to drive and I couldn't drink beer, so it was time to go.
Yeah, and we're not spring chickens anymore.
Yeah, so we loaded up and headed back to the hotel probably about 10 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. And then we headed over. We went and sat by the pool and had us a few beers, and that was about called her a night.
Yep. And then before you knew it, Sad Sunday came once again, and it was time.
Somebody needs to learn how to book their flight.
Yeah, that was my bad. Yeah, I thought so. I was booking my flight. For some reason I thought that my departure was 1 p.m. No, my arrival back in Nashville was 1 p.m. So I had an early ass flight. Well, it wasn't too bad, but I wanted to stay longer. I wanted to say goodbye to everyone, but I had to catch that plane. It was great, but most importantly, I got to see Turf and his bro. Now, that's the farewell party right there.
Yeah, it was.
So
we got him. Zach stayed out a little later than I did, so he needed sleepy. So Philip and I got up and we went and got some breakfast and hung out just one more time before he had to leave, and then then Zach and I went back down to the convention floor. I'm sure I bought some more stuff. That some of this pile was bought on Sunday. No, some of this was bought on Sunday. So
the Soul Calibur games, or
I think the Soul Calibur games. I know the Aztec Adventure was bought on Sunday.
Awesome.
So we did that and we had a good time, and we handed out more cards, shook some more hands, kissed some more babies, hung out with folks, gave away the rest of the stuff at our table.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something that was bad. I had all that like perler art. I had a box of perler art, and the people next to us were selling perler art.
Yeah.
So
we were giving away for free. Yeah.
I can't give this away for free while they're trying to sell it. The only reason they're here is because of perler art. And here I am giving this box of it away. Well, what I ended up doing, I just put it under the table. I gave some to Eric and Mo because he wanted to make like a poster or something out of the Mega Man 2 stuff. Mm-hmm. So I gave that to him, and then after that, I just kind of put it up. I just didn't. At the end of it, I was like, "Hey guys, y'all can give this away if you want to, or y'all can sell this if you want to at the next one." So I gave that to them, and they were cool guys. Or a lady and her husband,
cool couple.
Yeah, but they were a cool couple, and I enjoyed hanging out with them. So I didn't want to get that bad juju by giving stuff away that they're trying to sell.
Of all the places that
you couldn't have put the post next to the poster guy.
Yeah, or
the
artists. No, they're selling the same thing we're trying to pawn off of you so you can subscribe to our podcast.
So we gave stuff away. I ended up giving some stuff to Greg Honeycutt that he can just sell in his store if he wants to, or he can throw it in the trash. I don't care. Yeah, we just had a bunch of extra stuff. I think Eric ended up taking that U-Force. I ended up just giving it to him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that was a good conversation piece, but I'm glad I found a good home.
We had a U-Force, and we had the on our, it's like the force feedback vest on our table that I was just ready to get rid of. It was taking up room in my building. So I was planning on trading it away, but Eric said he wanted the U-Force. Like, dude, you can have it. If your wife will let you take it, you can have it. And I don't even know who I gave the other thing to.
Yeah, it was, we had more stuff at our table than I thought we're going to have. So, that was a good idea for us to subscribe. You get something.
I gave away a Game Gear.
Yeah.
Wow.
You gave away a Game Gear, some like carrying cases for like a DS. I gave away Kirby's Epic Yarn. I mean, gave away some good stuff, all for the sake of the podcast.
Well, all for the sake of we didn't want it anymore.
Well, that too.
It's sad, and it's kind of sad that we're to a point in our lives where it is too much trouble to try to sell stuff.
Yeah,
like I've got stuff, and I'm like, I would rather just give this to some asshole than me try to go trade it because that's going to be too much trouble for me.
I like the way you're such a way with words. I love it. But Charles, like I said, when he was getting his keyboard, it was still not the same without you. Next year, hopefully you can. Well, you know what? Let's try to make this. Let's make this happen. We will do what we can because we miss your face. We missed your face a lot.
It's a long drive.
It is October. Let me look at the dates up. It's later next year. It's October 19th and 20th next year.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Is that a bad day for you? A year away?
That is Rocky Horror Halloween shows for Jenny.
We'll leave Jenny at home and get on a plane, and you don't have to drive. Just catch a ride to the airport, get on a plane, and just say, take me to Dallas. I don't even care which plane you get on as long as it ends up at DFW Airfield. Catch the shuttle to the hotel. We'll let you sleep in the bathtub.
What if it takes me to like the attack submarine to Dallas?
The what? To the what now?
The U.S. Navy attack sub.
Oh
no,
they won't do that. Don't you worry.
That you're on the wrong plane. But yeah,
Don't worry, Charles. When it comes to finding good flights, I'll help you with that.
Let me tell you what you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to buddy up with Eric and Mo. They said they flew down here for $144 round trip.
Yeah, they're in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're friends with them on social media.
They're in Plainfield, which is not Chicago.
Burbs. Man, you're some bougie folks. Like, that's not Chicago, actually.
Well, for the sake of Retropalooza, we'll call it, you'll call it whatever they want you to call it. So you can, find a way with them. But great weekend, Turf. Great weekend. It always is. And it just always goes by so quickly.
It goes by too fast. It absolutely does. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year. And it's so much fun to just get out, hang out with the boys, do things that the boys do, and just have fun, man. It's
definitely
just let your hair down and get away from work for a minute. And of course, now I will say, and I'm a newly married gentleman in the last 5 months.
Yeah,
I missed my wife and I called her a lot, but y'all are just going to have to get off my nuts for that because it is what it is.
yeah, absolutely.
But,
Russell says he might go next year.
I was glad to get home. I really was. I'm that guy that I don't really like to be away from my wife, but I'm absolutely that guy. And I was glad to be home to her, and I was glad to see my kid. And just
I love that voice you just did.
I am that guy. I don't love being away from her, but it was fun to get out with the boys and do the things that the boys will.
Yep.
Louisville and Dallas, those are two really fun weekends every year.
It's like a good old family reunion. So
absolutely.
And I can't wait for the next one. But we are running short of time. Charles, do you want to do the outro? We didn't hear much from you today. Do you think you can handle it, or should we?
I'm not good at the outro.
You're not good. All right, Turf, take it away.
Turf's got the outro. Got that down.
I've done it 116 times. Huh? Well, 115 times. Excuse me.
Maybe 114. I've done it once.
Okay. So I've done it over 100 times. So if you enjoyed this episode of Our Parents' Basement, there is 115 other episodes. 115 other episodes. You can check them out on YouTube. They're right over there. But for the sake of this being a podcast, the audio only is where the gold is at. Take us with you. Take us in your car. Take us on a jog. That's what this is all about. Put us on your mobile device and just let's go around the world. There's at least 115 hours. That's what my Jason math. A lot of days. A lot. That's like 5 days, right?
It's enough to get to Dallas.
5 and 6 days. You could drive coast to coast and back and not hear the same. And I probably made that up. It's probably like coast to coast and not ever hear the same episode twice. So yeah, it'd be coast to coast and back. You could go from New York to LA to New York.
If you wanted to.
Let that soak in for a minute. And then you wouldn't hit the same episode. So there's 115 of those. Check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, Tuned In, and anywhere else you can download a podcast. If you want to hit us up on social media, I love to hear from you guys. I love all the feedback. I love the questions, comments, and even those smart remarks at OPB Podcast on Twitter, Facebook.com/OPB Podcast. We're at OPB Podcast on Instagram. I think I figured out Instagram will maybe be more active on that.
We'll try, yeah.
Y'all be sure to hit us up, say what's up, give us a high five and a handshake, and maybe come see us at the Louisville Arcade Expo, whenever that is. So
sometime in March of next year. It'll be awesome.
Does anybody have anything else they'd like to add?
I don't think so. Thanks for listening as usual. And once again, thanks to Jay for putting this thing on.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, that's a big one. Thanks, Jay, for putting this on and having us out. All right, guys. With that said, Charles, press that button. We need a catchphrase.
Yeah,
we need a catchphrase. The button's been pushed. Good night.